So, hello dear students. Previously we have started unit number 3 and the first point we have studied was configurations of static wave compensator, and I have given a brief description of all types of static wave compensator and the advantages of all the static wave compensators. So these static wave compensators are mainly classified depending upon the methods of controlling the configurations of controllers. So there are different methods, that is thyristor controlled switch reactor or thyristor TCR or TSR, then thyristor switch capacitor TSC, fixed capacitor thyristor controlled reactor, that is FCTCR, and thyristor switch capacitor and thyristor controlled reactor. Then the second types of control is switching converter type war generator, that is static condenser and static compensator, that is STATCON and STATCOM, that is both are the same, that is static compensators. Then hybrid war generators are nothing but switching converters with TSC and TCR. So in this lecture I'll be explaining one type of configuration from variable impedance type, that is nothing but fixed capacitor thyristor controlled reactor. Then in next slide PPT I will be explaining one configuration from switching converter, that is nothing but static compensator. And in third I will be explaining hybrid war generator, that is nothing but TSC TCR. So remaining part I'll be providing the notes for you. So from all this configuration I'll be explaining, or from all these methods I'll be explaining one each configuration, and the remaining configuration I will be providing notes to you. So fixed capacitor thyristor controlled reactor. So as I have discussed earlier, that is nothing but in case of static wave compensator we can have control over the current injection by controlling the back to back connected thyristors by providing a gate signal or gate pulse. So a basic war generator arrangement using fixed capacitor that is permanently connected with thyristor controlled reactor FCTCR. The current in the reactor is varied by the method of firing delay angle control, that is nothing but by controlling the firing angle alpha, and this control signal is provided to the gate terminal of thyristor which is back to back connected. So this is the basic diagram of fixed capacitor thyristor controlled reactor, where we have a fixed capacitor connected in shunt to a back-to-back connected thyristors. You will see over here the thyristors are connected back-to-back having a gate signal, and by providing the delay angle over here or firing angle to the thyristors, we can have the control over the current by varying the impedance. So what we basically do in this, by giving the firing angle, we mainly vary the impedance, and by changing the impedance we change the current in the system. The fixed capacitor in practice is usually substituted fully or partially by filter network. So this capacitor acts as filter, and we know that this filter is used for eliminating the harmonics which is generated by back-to-back connected thyristors. So the fixed capacitor in practice is usually substituted fully or partially by filter network that has necessary capacitive impedance at the fundamental frequency to generate the reactive power required, but it provides low impedance at selected frequency to shunt the dominant harmonic produced by TCR. That is nothing but this capacitor, that is permanently connected capacitor, eliminates the harmonics which are generated by back to back connected thyristors or thyristor controlled reactor. The fixed capacitor thyristor controlled reactor type war generator may be considered essentially to consist of variable reactor and fixed capacitor. So that's why the name is given as FCTCR, that is fixed capacitor and thyristor controlled reactor. That is nothing but reactor is nothing but the reactance of the line or impedance of the line will be controlled by controlling the thyristors, but the capacitor will remain fixed or will be constant. So figure B shows the waveform of the demand of reactance of line, reactance of capacitors. So as seen, the constant capacity over generation QC of fixed capacitor is opposed by variable over absorption QL of thyristor controlled reactor to yield total war output Q required. So the net war generation due to fixed capacitor and thyristor controlled reactor is given by Q is equal to QL minus QC, where QL is nothing but the reactive war generation due to thyristor controlled reactor, and QL is nothing but reactance of fixed capacitor. So the net reactance is nothing but Q is equal to QL minus QC. At maximum capacitive war output, the thyristor controlled reactor is off, that is at angle alpha is equal to 90 degree, the thyristor is off and the reactive reactance of capacitor is maximum, or war generation from the capacitor is maximum. So to decrease the capacity output, the current in the reactor is increased by decreasing the delay angle alpha or firing angle alpha. So here we have two conditions. When alpha is equal to 90 degree, then the thyristors will be turned off, that is nothing but TCR part will be turned off, and the war generation will be completely from the capacitance, that is nothing but capacitive output or capacitive reactance will be lost. So if you want to decrease the capacitive reactance, we need to decrease the firing angle less than 90 degree, then and then only the capacitive output will get decreased. At zero war output, the capacitive and inductive current becomes equal, thus capacitive and inductive war cancels out. This is one of the input. When the net reactance is equal to 0, that is nothing but QL is equal to QC, then the net war is equal to 0. That means the current from the capacitor and current from the thyristor controlled reactor, that is IC and IL, becomes equal to each other. That is nothing but we have resonance condition over here, and if the resonance condition gets occur, then the reactive part or the war generation will be equal to 0. With further decrease of angle alpha, assuming that the rating of reactor is greater than the capacitor, the inductive current becomes larger than the capacitive current, resulting in net inductive war output. So till now we have considered three conditions. The first condition was when the firing angle alpha is equal to 90 degree. At that time, the TCR was off and the maximum war generation was from capacitor type. The second condition is when the inductive current and capacitive current becomes equal to each other. So if we adjust the alpha in such a way that the current from capacitor side and current from inductor side, that is TCR side, becomes equal to each other, that is nothing but resonance condition, then the war generation will be equal to 0. And the third condition is nothing but when if I decrease the alpha in such a way that This thyristor control reactor produces maximum current, that is nothing but inductive current is maximum as compared to capacitive current. Then the net resulting reactance or war generation will be inductive war output, that is nothing but maximum war generation will be from thyristor control reactor side. At zero delay angle alpha, that is nothing but when alpha is equal to 0, the thyristor controlled reactor conducts current over full 180-degree interval, resulting in maximum inductive war output, that is equal to difference between war generated by capacitor and those absorbed by fully conducting reactor. So that till now what we have studied, that is nothing but by controlling the firing angle or delay angle of thyristors, we can have the control over war generation, that is nothing but from inductive war generation or capacitive war generation, that is nothing but TCR war generation and fixed capacitor war generation. And this is mainly possible by just controlling the firing angle or delay angle alpha of the back to back connected thyristors. Now next, how we can control the back to back connected thyristors, that is nothing but control of thyristor controlled reactor in FCTCR. So how we can produce the gate pulses is will be studied in this point. So this is the simple block diagram of producing the gate pulses in thyristor controlled reactor or producing the gate pulses for back to back connected thyristors. We have different parts over here, that is nothing but we have reference reactive current, that is IQ reference, then we have capacitive current, then we have full load current, and which is connected to a summer, and this summer is the output of that current, output signal is given to current admittance to delay angle converter. Then we have timing circuit, then from the output of this admittance delay angle converter is given to firing pulse generator. Here the pulses will be developed and these pulses will be given to your back to back connected thyristors. So we have four parts over here. One function is synchronous timing. This function is usually provided by phase lock loop circuit that runs in synchronism with AC system voltage and generates appropriate timing pulses with respect to peak of that voltage. So since we have seen in first figure, that is nothing but all this war compensator, that is static war compensators, are connected in shunt to the extra high voltage line, that is nothing but that line is nothing but AC in nature and it is sinusoidal. So we have to convert the sinusoidal signals into discrete form, and this discrete form of voltage and current can be generated using phase lock loop, and that is nothing but synchronous timing circuit. So if we get the part of voltage and current at that time, we can easily generate the, or if we know the magnitude of voltage from the line, we can easily generate the pulse according to that magnitude. So it can be done with help of phase lock. In different approach, the AC voltage itself may be used for timing. However, this seemingly simple approach presents difficult problems during system faults and major disturbances when voltage exhibits wild fluctuations and large distortion. So directly using phase lock loop, we can use AC signals, and these AC signals can be easily obtained when the system is in synchronism, or it is in, or the system is symmetrical or normal. But it becomes difficult when the disturbances in the system gets occur due to faults. So when the fault occurs, the magnitude of voltage and current gets changes tremendously, and it is highly impossible to denote this voltage by using phase log loop. The second function is reactive current or admittance to firing angle conversion. So whatever the current signal we have obtained by considering the capacitive current, inductive current and the reference current, that current will be converted into firing angle with help of second block, that is nothing but reactive current or admittance to firing angle conversion. This can be provided by real-time circuit implementation of the mathematical relationship between the amplitude of fundamental TCR current ILF alpha and the delay angle alpha. Several circuit approaches are possible. One is analog function generators producing in each half cycle a scaled electrical signal that represent ILF alpha versus relationship. So that circuit can be analog in nature. So after that circuit we can have analog to digital converters. So analog signals are nothing but we can directly take the magnitude of current by which is generated by considering the capacitive current, then TCR current, that is ILF, and the reference signals. So directly the magnitude of that current will be taken to generate the amount of firing angle. Another is digital lookup table for the normalized ILF alpha, that is nothing but whatever the inductive current, analog current is noted or obtained, this current will be converted into particular firing angle by using lookup table, which is in case of microprocessor where we have lookup table. If we get the magnitude of current for that particular current, there will be a stored value of signal or pulses, and that pulses will be given to the particular devices. So the another is digital lookup table for normalized ILF alpha versus alpha functions, which is read at regular intervals. Example, that each degree starting from alpha is equal to 0 until the requested value is found, at which instant a firing pulse is initiated. A third approach is to use microprocessors and compute prior to earliest firing angle alpha is equal to 0 the delay angle corresponding to required ILF alpha. The actual firing instant is then determined simply by a timing circuit, that is counter, measuring alpha from the peak of the voltage. So there will be a delay circuit given in the microprocessor, since microprocessor requires times to convert the analog signal to a particular digital signal from the lookup table. The third function is the computation of required fundamental reactor current ILF from requested total output current IQ, sum of fixed capacitor and TCR current. So we need to generate the reference signal, that is IQ, defined by amplitude reference input IQ reference to war generator control. This is simply done by subtracting the amplitude of capacitor current IC from IQ reference. The fourth function is thyristor firing pulse generation. This is accomplished by firing pulse generator or gate drive circuits, which produces necessary gate current pulse for the thyristors to turn on in response to the output signal provided by reactive current to firing angle converter. So till now what we have seen, we have seen that we have to generate the firing angle, and depending upon the firing angle we can control the war generation. So the ultimate aim is to generate the firing angle alpha. So for generating the firing angle alpha, we need to know the magnitude of voltage and current. So here the current are of two types, that is capacitive current, that is IC, and the TCR current, that is ILF. So by These two current IC and IF will get the reference current or total current, that is IQ. Now, in order to find out the voltage, we need to use synchronizing time circuit, that is nothing but phase locked loop circuit, and it directly denotes the AC magnitude voltage or magnitude of AC voltage. Then that signal will be given to the current or admittance circuit, where it converts this voltage and the reference current signal generated into firing angle. But here it directly does not convert into firing angle. What it does, it just takes the analog signals, and this analog signal will be given to the gate drive circuit. Here the analog signal, what it does, now this signal will be given to the microprocessor. Here the analog signal or the magnitude of current will be converted into a digital signal by using a lookup table. So for a required amount of current, there will be a desired firing angle, and that signal will be given to the gate drive circuit. And that gate drive circuit will nothing but is nothing but the generation of delay angle or firing angle, and that gate drive circuit is directly connected to back connected thyristors. The gate drive circuits are sometimes at ground potential with magnetic coupling to the thyristor gates. More often, however, they are at the high potential level of thyristors. In the latter case, in order to provide sufficient insulation between ground level control and the gate drive circuit, the gating information is usually transmitted via optical fibers. So this gate drive circuit is grounded, and the next step is nothing but we can directly transfer the gate signal using optical fibers, that is light pipe. So this is VI characteristics of FCTCR. The VI operating area of FCTCR war generation is defined by maximum attainable capacitive and inductive admittance, and by voltage and current rating of major power components, that is capacitor, reactor and thyristor wall. The ratings of power components are derived from the application required. So VC max is nothing but voltage limit for capacitor, VL max is nothing but voltage limit for TCR, IC max is nothing but capacitive current limit, IL max is nothing but inductive current limit, BL max is nothing but maximum inductive admittance, and BC is nothing but admittance of capacitor. And this area changes depending upon the war generation. If the capacitive war generation is high, then the area of capacitor side get increases, and if the inductive war generation is high, the inductive side area get increases, and it mainly this area mainly depends upon the delay angle alpha. The dynamic performance of war generators is limited by firing angle delay control, which results in time lag or transport lag with respect to input reference signal. The actual transfer function of FCTCR type war generator can be expressed with the transport lag in the following form. So the transfer function of FCTCR is nothing but G of S is equal to K e raised to minus TD S, where S is Laplace operator. So the transfer function is converted into Laplace form. K is the gain and TD is time lag, and this time lag mainly depends upon the firing angle alpha.